Welcome back to the Control Pod.
Yay.
First guest of the year. Welcome, Tom Slorach from duzh.
What's up? What's up? Hey guys.
Happy New Year, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Happy New Year. Thank you for having me as the first person here. I'm very humbled.
We are very grateful for your time. For the listeners, who are you? What do you do? Why are you on the Control Pod?
My name is Tom Slorach. I run duzh and Bug Boys. Like anyone, I'm just running around trying to figure something out. Hopefully something sticks. But yeah, clothing brand, social media content, and I've been doing it for about 4 years now, but still got no idea what I'm doing. Really, truly.
I feel like that's all of us.
Yeah, 100%. Tom and I were fortunate enough to have a podcast about a year and a half ago. We were just discussing off air. And if you do want to check out sort of the origin of duzh and all that it was and sort of where you were at that point of your life, please go check it out. I think it's still on Spotify. It should definitely be on
Yeah,
Spotify.
it is.
Yeah. But Tom, thank you so much again for your time.
No. Thank you for having me, guys. I always watch your videos. I like all the content and everything you put out. So it's cool to be here.
100%.
Yeah.
Check out your YouTube as well. Just cheeky shout outs. Mate, talk to us a bit about, I guess, let's go duzh first as a little bit of an overview. What do you guys do? Clothing brand. Can you describe sort of your style and what you're about?
I think it was really birthed out of like a lot of interests that my friend and I, Sasha, who I started the business with, had 4 years ago. I still have them now, but it was very strong back then. We started off like, going out a lot, techno music, Melbourne nightlife. And I think through that we made bleached hats, and then it kind of transformed into this whole kind of normcore thing. Like, I don't want to say I started the whole trend of people dressing like how they dress at festivals now, but look, that's how I dressed like 6-7 years ago. Hey. And then and then all like the bleach hats and everything, that like I think we really truly contributed to a lot of that, for better or for worse. But yeah, that's what it is. It's very dance music focused, Melbourne nightlife, that whole kind of vibe. And I think hopefully this year I want to push the envelope a little more on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember the first time I interviewed you, like the bleach hats were just going crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like insane.
They were insane. I mean, I'm not a big like festival goer myself or sort of into the Melbourne nightlife, but I just remember everyone under the sun was like posting with bleach caps and everything. So
Was that a trend that you hopped onto, or you created the trend?
Well, I think we were an early adopter, let's say. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
and yeah, I guess 4 years down the track, mate, like how has the journey been?
I mean, up, down, sideways, roundabout. It's been a journey for sure, but it's been really enjoyable. Yeah.
100%.
I mean, like, yeah, we're the same
Yeah.
as well. I feel like every business goes through that. Like, you feel the toughness of it. Then there's the reap and reward, and then you're like, great. And then as you're like building this cool like upward, it's like something happens, and then it hits, and then it goes crashing down. I feel like that's business. So
It is.
we totally get it.
Well, because the last time we spoke, you moved to the Gold Coast, and then we were
Yes.
sort of just talking a little bit about
Yeah.
there. So like, talk to us about that. Like, what was the transition like, and you're back now.
So I took. Look, I'm just gonna say I'll never die knowing, not knowing. I took a bit of a gamble going to the Gold Coast. My best friend Carl, who I run the business with and the social media content with, he moved to the Gold Coast with his girlfriend in April, just because they wanted like a little bit of a change, nicer weather, whatever have you. Like, Gold Coast is beautiful. I don't blame them whatsoever. He moved up there, and we were really hot at the time with all of our social media. The brand was going well, so I was like, "Oh, fuck it, bro." Sorry, can I swear? Is that cool?
Of course you can, yeah.
Bug it, bro. I am going to move up there and follow him. So I kind of moved up there with him. And when we got up there, I don't know if I should say this because it's kind of, maybe I need to have a conversation with Carl before I say this. But pretty much I moved up there to be closer to him. And then we moved up there, and it kind of became that we were just doing less. And because we were doing less, we were obviously growing a lot less. And it was really hard because I still really wanted to work really hard on it. But I had less time to work on it, obviously, because I had more bills to pay, living in a state, rent, expenses, whatever else have you. So I got up there, got slapped in the face pretty hard, got fired from a few jobs up there as well. So I had a pretty rough go of it. But through all of that, I kind of realized and figured out that this business still has a lifeline, but it's not in the Gold Coast. So I kind of waited out this 6-month period just to see, if something nice happened. And then at the end of the 6 months, I moved back and then came straight back here, had BTV. And then I've been back since early December. So maybe only a month
Just
now.
literally recently.
Yeah, just
Oh,
very
wow.
recently. But
Oh.
yeah, I feel like this is really the epicenter and the action of it all. Like there's so many like you guys, there's so many like-minded people here, people to film content with, people to like grow with. Whereas like no discredit to Gold Coast. I love the place with my whole heart, but it just felt like I was on holiday permanently. I couldn't lock in, like for real. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I can
You're from
understand.
Cairns.
Yeah,
so
I'm from Cairns. But it's
Yeah.
just like Brisbane up.
Do you
higher.
find the same thing there?
Oh
where
yeah,
you
I
live?
think everyone takes everything a bit less seriously than it does here, to some degree. Like there's like all the whole tall poppy syndrome here and stuff, but I still think like everyone's so chill over there.
Yeah.
So it's like nothing really moves forward to the pace that you as like someone from Melbourne might like feel. So I totally understand that.
What was that like? I guess like finding that you preferred almost that Melbourne, that sort of hustle culture. I think like you sort of like when you look at Australia, you look at sort of the northern part of it, and you're like, yeah, that's like holiday destination, sort of chill and whatnot. Perth, nothing really going on there. Adelaide, sort of similar, and then it's like Sydney and Melbourne, right? Where like I feel like everyone's like sort of really switched on. Like, did you know that? I guess you molded better in Melbourne, or I guess what have you learned there?
I always thought like I'm kind of the Nam guy. So it makes more sense for the Nam guy to be in Melbourne. So I had that thought in my mind when I went to the Gold Coast, but also I really wanted to give it a chance. I wanted to be with Carl. I wanted to build this thing together. And then since being there for a little bit, I was like, oh, fuck, you know what? Like I actually prefer Melbourne. And it's not because I don't like Gold Coast. I just prefer Melbourne. So I probably didn't need to go to the Gold Coast to figure that out, but I guess that's just how it was.
Yeah, at least you've done it now. Like you've done it now. You can say that you like tried, and then now you know where like your base
Yeah.
is.
Not gonna die not knowing, hey?
Yes, that's it.
That's
That's
true.
it.
Hey, what's it like running a business with a partner as well? We're doing it at the moment, and
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we're dating, but there's always the notion of don't get into business with your friends, your family. Like, what has that all been like?
It's difficult for sure. I'm sure you guys feel the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
always.
Yeah,
Well, we both see things like very, very similar, so that's good. But I
That's
think there's
good.
different ways that we go about doing things.
Yeah.
So it's like the outcome is always the same, but then the pathway to it is still sometimes
So
different.
true. Yeah.
And so like I'm a lot more of the sort of future forward thinker, and I think about like how is this going to affect in the future? What are the consequences? Whatever. Jane's more of a now thinker.
Yes.
And both have its benefits in different types of like whenever we're in business, in like whether it's a shoot, he thrives.
Of
Like,
course.
whereas I'm like look at the laptop with admin, and I'm like, okay, but we should try to do this differently, that differently, because I'm seeing it from the different scope of it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like we have to try and kind of like balance like whose sort of opinion is right or better, or like
Probably not even that. I was having this
Meeting
chat
in
with
the
my
middle
mate.
as
Yeah,
well.
it's like, well, it's not like whether you're right or wrong. Like you said, we end up, I guess, meeting at the place where we want to go. Like we
Yeah.
always have this North Star of like where we want to go to, right?
Yeah.
So just reminding ourselves that constantly.
But I can presume that with friendships and stuff, it'd be really similar too, right?
Yeah, probably because maybe also not because we're not sleeping with each other. There's not- I mean, we might be, but yeah, I think, it's pretty similar. Like pretty much everything you just said, I completely 100% attest to. I feel like Carl and I are quite similar, but my previous business partner and I were a bit similar. Probably like he was more think about the future. I was more in the moment. So I guess, really similar to you guys. It's about like the balance, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. What have you learned, I guess, in finding that balance with someone else?
I think this sounds I think the biggest thing that I found is I should have, but I can do it on my own. I think for so long I lacked the courage really to just put myself out there and do it all on my own. And I think after doing it so long with other people, I was like, do I really need someone else? Obviously, having someone who's on the same page as you can really lift you up and you can lift each other up. But I've kind of figured it out that I can do it on my own. And I think if I would have given myself advice 4 years ago, it would have been just to do it on your own and back yourself. But it's really hard to back yourself.
100%. I think that's so true because I guess for the longest time you would have known me as like the podcaster, right?
Yeah.
And then sort of started getting into freelancing and like
Mhm.
was like, oh, I'm the freelancer, videographer, podcaster guy now, and then would never lean into the role of like actually wanting to be a business owner. And I think
Mm.
I struggled so much throughout uni to actually adopt that and tell
Mhm.
people around me that no, I didn't want to go to corporate. I didn't want to
Yeah.
like work a 9 to 5. I actually wanted to do something for myself, but
Mhm.
because so many people around you are like so fixated on the fact that they want to get to this firm, they want to
Yeah.
get into a bank.
Yeah.
Like that's what you feel like. That's where you feel like you can't really say, "Oh, I want to actually do something for myself."
Is that a Melbourne thing?
I think. I don't know. I want to say yes.
Or this experience that you guys are kind of having where it's like you can't feel like you can 100% back yourself or 100% just put that confidence into a decision or because of like whatever externally is being like.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
Honestly, I don't know. I think it might be a human nature thing. I don't think it might necessarily be to Melbourne, but it could also just be necessarily to Melbourne. I think from what I find, even when I go and visit people overseas in America, they are a lot more encouraging.
Yeah.
And I find a lot of people here really do lack the courage to encourage you, which is funny, but I guess just how it is, you know?
100%.
I
You
definitely think
almost.
it's a Melbourne thing.
You don't think it's a Melbourne?
No, I
thing?
definitely
Oh,
think it's a Melbourne
you
thing.
think it's a Melbourne thing?
Because
Yeah.
obviously I wasn't raised in Melbourne. If anything, I grew up like luckily like a lot overseas and then um, in Cairns as well. And I feel like Cairns is obviously a bit different, but I think being overseas because I'm half Japanese, half Belgian, so
Mm.
I've got like family and
Oh,
friends and all that.
well,
Like I said, their mindset's very their mindset's very like I said, very American, like very encouraging, very like
yes.
just give it a go. Why don't you try it? Whereas like I think here it's so not limit. I don't want to say limiting, but so like there's almost this nervousness to try something.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if it's like the concept of like tall poppy, but it's whenever you actually do go and try it. Like, have you ever had people that come up to you and say like, "Fuck are you doing?" sort of thing? I mean, maybe. I feel like that's maybe your demographic, I guess. But
Like my mum,
Your mum-
but in a friendly way, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess like because I don't know, you're like posting stupid video. You just got so.
Sorry, I
freaked out.
just
He's
copsoid the.
just practicing for his fight. Yeah, like posting stupid videos online and all that sort of stuff. Or like, oh, people buy these hats and that sort of thing. But yeah, I don't know. The more that I think we've like leaned into this business thing, the more I've realized that there's not actually that many people who are like standing there going, "The fuck are you doing?" sort of thing.
Yeah, no one cares anymore.
Yeah, no one cares. Instead they're like, "Oh my god, like love what
That's
you're doing."
awesome.
Saw the video that you posted the other day. Like that's really relatable and that sort of stuff. So yeah, I don't know. It might be like an unspoken thing that people are.
I think it just really depends on the people you're like are surrounded with because if you grow up with people who like own a business or they have their own sort of ventures, then you tend to gravitate towards doing that anyway, which is I think where I come from because my dad was a business owner as well. A lot of my family members are business owners, so I think it's kind of just gravitated towards doing that. Where I think if you're like around like in high school, people who are only doing corporate or just going to uni, then that probably is what you tend to kind of fall into that trap.
Mm.
So I think it makes sense. But now that like we're in business, like obviously we're meeting all these people who are business owners, so we feel like it's just like we were just in the wrong like sort of
circle, I guess.
circle
yeah.
or community of people. But
Yeah,
do you feel the same way?
I 100% agree. Lately as well, I've found that I've been surrounding myself around people who are doing similar things. You know, they're social media content, making a media agency business, like people who are doing similar things. And it's not until you kind of surround yourself with really strong-willed, ambitious, and confident people that you kind of realize, oh, actually, wait, I can do this, and it doesn't really matter what people think.
I love that. How long did it take you to sort of get to that belief as well? Because I can imagine early on it would have been quite difficult.
Yeah, for sure. I guess I've really never truly cared so much about what other people think of me, but now more than ever, I'm just so. Not only do I not care, I'm very confident in myself, and it's a really cool thing. And I think surrounding yourself with these other business owners really helps to bolster your confidence.
Love it. What's been the best thing that's happened so far in Dush?
Oh,
Ooh.
that's crazy because that's such like a tier list thing, you know? Like I'd have
Yeah.
to like sit there and maybe do a tier list video, rank everything like S to F or whatever. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
STO.
I would never say that there's necessarily been one moment that's just been the most amazing moment ever. It's just been so many little moments throughout everything. Like even when I'm sitting there sometimes just in my garage bleaching hats, and I'm like, fuck, this is the coolest thing ever. And then other times I'll be at a festival and I'll be like, wow, this is so cool. Like I get to do this for work. And even right now, like just sitting here talking to you guys, having a cool conversation, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. So I wouldn't say one, there's no one best thing. There's just everything.
The whole process of
Yeah,
it.
the journey. Yeah.
The journey,
yeah.
as
That's
everyone
awesome.
says.
It really is.
Yeah. Well,
100%.
going back to the brand, because I know like obviously there's a podcast already, right? But if we had to talk about like sort of where it kind of started, or when did you kind of figure out that you wanted to start a business? Like what point was that sort of there for you?
I think from a very young age, I've always been very entrepreneurial. Like I was always like trading TF2 hats when I was in high school, or Bitcoin in high school, or buying and selling clothes when I was, 14, 15. So I've always kind of really enjoyed that whole aspect of taking something and then making it something else or whatever, flipping it. And I think it didn't happen necessarily on purpose, but I guess maybe it was fate, whatever. I was one day in when we started the business, 2021. My friend said to me, he's like, we can start a business doing clothes. And for so long, I really think that I was one of those people who are the instigators of the tall poppy syndrome for sure. And I was like, dude, that's so lame. You can't fucking make a clothing brand. Like, you're just going to be like every one of those other guys.
Yeah.
And then he pushed back on me so hard to the point where I kind of just caved. And I was like, oh, fuck it, bro. All right. You want to do this? Let's fucking do this. And then he's left. And I'm still here 4 years later. So
All right. So you would say, yeah, I remember this conversation as well.
Yeah.
Like you were more of the skeptic when you guys first started. I guess at one point were you like, wait, this is actually like becoming a thing.
sorry. I don't know. I just think one day, man, it just like finally got through my thick fucking skull, Like so many times people tell me things and they're right, and I just don't listen to them because I'm naive and stubborn. But eventually, it just got through to me this one day when we were at Albert Park, and I was like, "All right, bro, let's do it. You want to do it so bad? Let's do it." And yeah, he's not doing it anymore.
I think that's
love that.
that's a concept that I've come across as well. It's like the unteachable lessons as well.
Yeah.
There's so many unteachable lessons when you go through life that people tell you, you probably shouldn't do that, or I'd advise against that, and then you're like, yeah, sure, like I think I'm different, like the outcome's going to be different, or yeah, sure, I don't believe you, and you still go on to do it anyway. And
Yeah.
like I think there's some sort of beauty in being able to experience like those unteachable lessons, like, oh, you shouldn't text your ex after you break up and those sorts of things, right? Or, oh, you shouldn't go into business because it's not safe or it's not conventional as well. I think there's some beauty in that.
Big
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
What was sort of the concept and the planning behind the brand, the name, all those things?
Well, there was probably zero thought. Like I remember when we were going back and forth on the name, the concept, the brand, everything. I feel like so much of it is just it's just kind of myself and my personality, my life, my journey, everything. Like the brand is pretty much just an extension of me and the person and who I am, my interests, everything like that. And at the start, it was me and a combination of my friend who I started it with. And then slowly it became the other friend, Carl, who joined in with me. And it kind of became like both of our identities extended into this clothing brand. And now that they're kind of both taking a back seat in it, it's really just me authentically out there. And I think I'm pretty just chill. Like I not really too much gets to me. I don't really care about things too much. Like I'm very much I live in every moment and I'm really happy to be here in every moment. I don't care too much about the outcome or what happens. I'm very happy just dancing through life, playing payphone, just singing and dancing. And I think that's kind of like the name duzh. Like there were two made up words that our friends and I used in high school. And like we're like, okay, this is the dumbest thing we can call it.
So these
Let's
words
call it
don't mean
that.
anything at all. Like there's no immediate meaning. Because I'm like, okay, with branding, like you think control, you like it's an English word. I don't know. Douchebag is like, to me, I'm like, is there a definition? Is there no definition? It's just random letters put together. Like
Literally doesn't mean anything.
I love
I like control because it's like it's on every keyboard. Everyone
Yep.
sees it every day. It's super
Yeah.
in your face. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just my naiveness and stubbornness. I should have thought of a better brand name, but yeah, here we are.
But here we
You're
are.
standing out, so I think why not? Like if it doesn't
100%. I think it's like a point of conversation as well. I want to touch on that topic of like, you know, how it's like your identity and it's sort of like people gravitate towards it all of a sudden. I think that's like the true definition of art. I don't know who the quote was for, obviously spinning a lot of quotes as well, but like I think someone had approached an artist and said like, how do you keep coming up with these like trending or popular concepts? And he said, what do you mean? Like they're not popular or trending, like they're what I think as well. And people just so happen to enjoy that. And for him or that person that was making the art, like that's where he got their true purpose, because like they were just creating for themselves. And they were fortunate enough that someone stumbled across it. And then more and more people started to stumble across it. And I think that goes to the notion of like finding your people, putting yourself out there, finally like leaning into the role of like being a business owner and coordinating with different people. Yeah. I don't know.
that was awesome.
Yeah,
Add
that was
to that.
That was great.
very profound.
I don't know. It just like struck my mind because I think I struggle a lot with maybe like the work that I'd put out too, especially meeting so many creatives, like so many talented people. You're like, holy shit, like the world is so much bigger than like what it is. Like, do we deserve the clients that we have? Do we deserve to be making money off this? Like all these questions pop to mind. But I think that's always been a grounding concept. Like people value you for you as well. And that's like a really important lesson in business.
I agree. Do you feel like you find yourself being in this constant state of doubt? Because I think you go through those waves, right? You're like, oh, I'm smashing it, and then there's days where like, fuck, are we meant to be doing this? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, like some days I'm like, oh my God, this sounds bad, but I'm just being honest. Some days I'm like, holy fuck, I'm the fucking best person in the whole world. I'm a genius. I'm a creative beast. And then other days I'm like, oh, actually, what the hell am I doing? But I kind of sit somewhere in the middle most days. And I don't actually think I'm like a creative god or anything. That's
Just for the record.
Yeah. It's just like your own ego sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. You got to validate yourself somehow for sure.
Maybe a bit delulu. every now and then.
Yeah, it's just constant state of
function through.
being. Hey, like
Yeah.
entrepreneurship, you just like sort of ping pong between the two.
Yeah.
It's like best when you're like hovering in between as well.
Yeah.
I like that word, the constant state of being. That's perfect way to
pretty
summarize
good.
it.
Yeah, I agree.
100%. Geez, sorry
We're all
guys, I'm
spitting
just
out
getting
facts
very,
today. This is crazy.
being very deep. Now, Bug Boys, what is happening there as well? I feel like every time I scroll you guys are popping the fuck off, but obviously now there's the degree of separation. What's happening there?
That's the thing. A long time ago, Sasha, my friend who started the business with me, he said like you should definitely pivot from the clothing brand to doing social media content, because at the moment our social media content gets a lot more traction. But the thing is, it's like, how do you monetize and make some long-standing kind of life building business or whatever off of short in your face reels? Like it's very hard to form any sort of longevity behind something so short form. So I think for me, I pushed back on him saying you guys should pivot for so long. And I think there is a world where that they can both exist simultaneously, because there's enough of like an overlap of Venn diagram of demographic between the brand and the social media content, but it's hard to juggle them both. And I think I listen to a lot of Alex Hormozy, like anyone, and he always talks about choosing one thing. And it's hard for me because I love them both so much and they both do so well. And there's the golden pot of gold at the end of the rainbow in both of them. There's a potential that they both do work out. So I don't know. It's hard managing it, but I truly do enjoy and believe that the content that we're making and putting out is authentic. It's funny. It's who we are. It's not just clickbait and in your face for attention. Like I'm not rolling down Sydney Road. I don't know if you guys have seen this lately, but there's a guy who just like pours matcha all over
He
himself.
literally has been showing me those videos everywhere.
Fuck.
Like, what the fuck is that? I
I have no idea what's going on.
I was
but
so
reckon
scared. I was actually in Sydney like literally yesterday, and I was like, "Are we gonna like witness this guy?" Like,
Oh, so he's from Sydney.
he's on he's
The
in
original
Sydney.
one.
And then someone in Melbourne did it as well, who like I have a mutual with. And I was just like, bro, this
You should
is
make
like,
a video of like, why is there like a matcha shortage? And then click to that video.
But no,
Because there
Dude,
is
that's-
actually a matcha shortage. There's like, in Japan, there's like shelves of shops. There's like, we have no matcha. There's no matcha out. It's all out of stock. This and that. It's because of these people.
all the performative
All going down the
matcha
drain.
men.
Australian drain. Is all they're calling them, the matcha men.
No.
Oh,
I mean, I don't
gosh.
know actually. Not,
Good ring to it.
yeah.
Don't give me any
so
ideas.
you want to sort of stray away from, I guess,
Not
doing that sort of stuff, or what's the?
Not stray away. I just kind of want to have some dignity.
Yeah.
I mean, fair
Yeah.
enough. Yeah, literally.
Which
you don't
is-
want to be butt ass naked, or not butt ass naked, but like in your jocks with green liquid all over you.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time, but like, I don't know if I could bring myself to that, because it's like at the end of the day, it's who you are, and if you're the guy who pours matcha over himself for attention in the city, you're the guy who pours matcha himself over attention
Yeah,
in the city.
it's true.
True. You have done some stuff in the city though, like
I
you're
have.
fully dressed up, and yeah, I remember seeing some videos.
Don't get me wrong. I've also absolutely paraded up and down the city like a monkey man. But I don't know. Maybe maybe him and maybe the matcha guy and me are actually just the exact same.
Just cut clips to all these
Yeah.
different vlogs that you've done in the
I
city.
know, literally, you're actually the same guy.
So you're managing 2 social media profiles while running this business, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, kind
What
of.
has that been like?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I need to get some better systems in place. What I am, is it type B where you just like don't give a fuck about anything?
Yes,
I don't
I'd
know.
say
yes.
so,
I've been
yeah.
called type A, so I
Yeah.
think,
Yeah.
you're type B.
Isn't that so type B of me to not even know what type B is?
Time me, bro.
Yeah,
Turn me
yeah.
up.
So I think a lot of this year for me is I got to get better organizational, better systems in place so that I can manage all of these different things that I'm trying to manage all at the same time. At the moment, I'm making it work somehow, don't know how, but I feel like I'm leaving a lot on the table. Like there's so much more room for optimization.
100%. What is that like? I guess because I mean now you're by the sounds of things like more solo as well, like doing everything
Yes.
surrounding the two as well. Like I mean we both struggle, even the two of us
There's
sometimes,
so much to do all the
to
time.
do everything and anything. How do you structure your days? Like what does that look like?
I go shout out to Eldie and shout out to my sister Mia. Shout out to anyone who just like helps me make videos or content, or shout out to Nathan and shout out to Jake as well for coming to BTV. I have like lots of people around me who are very supportive and they help me. And I'm really, truly thankful to them. And also shout out to Carl. He still helps out in the business a lot, but obviously just not as much because he's in the Gold Coast. It's a lot harder for him. But I'm actually just making a YouTube video now. So I'm going to shout out my YouTube.
Yes, link in bio.
But I'm doing like a little documentation or story or week in the life of how it works, trying to run social media brand, a TikTok brand, a duzh brand, a personal life, a training for a Muay Thai fight. But it's kind of, it follows a very similar structure every day. Like I wake up at about 5, I go do my actual labor job, which is like stacking metal bales in Dandenong. It's very, very
Wow.
grim, but you know, that's food on the table. And then I don't have to worry about money, and you never kind of really want to have money issues. So I do that from either 6 till 2 every day, and then from 2 till 5 I'll work on the business, and then from 6 till 9 I'll train Muay Thai, and I'll kind of just like do that every day. And that 3-hour block I'll just be doing crazy shit. Like I'll be coming here. I was just at the Novel office picking up some t-shirts and checking that out. And then yesterday or 2 days ago, I was filming a YouTube video with shout out Strawberry 6 in the city also doing some like marcher performative stuff, pouring all over you in the city.
Wait,
So-
you
No,
are.
we were playing chess against people in real life and using
Oh, over by
AI
the
to
state-
cheat. Yeah, it's-
At the state library.
yeah.
What?
Using AI to cheat where you feel like putting in all the
Yeah,
moves and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I need to-
It's-
need to watch this.
Yeah,
later.
it was very stupid, very funny. They're crazy guys, but it was very enjoyable. And yeah, it's kind of just like every day is something new, and I love it so much for that. Yeah.
So good. Did you ever think that you'd be doing all of this?
No, no, never.
Because what did you like study, or like what was the educational pathway like? I guess like I always love this narrative of like, you know, where have you come from? Like, have you always been entrepreneurially wired, or you know, did your parents tell you to go to uni and that sort
Yeah.
of stuff as well?
I think I went to a private school, and private schools obviously want you to stay in school. Like their number one thing is, we don't get money from you if you don't stay in school. And they need money because they're a business too, just like this. So a lot of that pressure is always like, you know, go to school, go to uni, participate in the whole facade
The facade.
of just transferring money around and pretending you're not a slave. And a lot of that was in my life for so long, and I did buy into it for so long. Like I went to uni, I did it all. I studied commerce with a major in accounting at Monash, and that was fucking boring, but it taught me a lot. And I think there's a world where I do work corporate and it's like whatever, and I'm just happy with it. But for now, I'm trying my hardest to not. So
See how
And I love how real you've been as well. Like, I think social media tends to glorify, like, I'm a business owner, like, I'm all in and that sort of stuff. But sometimes, especially with like the line of business you're in, you need capital as well to
do.
be able to purchase the products and
Yes.
then bleach the caps. And like, you need all this material and all this resource as well. Like, it doesn't just happen out of thin air sort of thing. Like, you're not drop shipping cheap toys as well. So, what has that been like?
good question. That's perfect. That's given me a really good realm to speak about. Like such a hard thing about running a business is like that finance. Like if you have like a bad drop, especially like for a clothing brand, you know, that's, you can't afford the next drop. And then, you know, you have two bad drops in a row, bang, that's your business gone. And when you're a small business, like every dollar is so fine that you really have to grind. Like I have to still work another job in order to try and get this hopeful business over the line if it ever does work out one day. And social media doesn't ever really show you that side of it. They glorify, I just made fucking $25 million in 1 second drop shipping Snorlaxes on Temu. And you're like, how the hell did you do that? And then you watch like 20 YouTube tutorials trying to do it. And all the YouTube tutorials are just selling you a course. And you're like, okay, this is all bullshit. Just like the uni, it's all bullshit. So I think a lot of it is juggling. And this BTV bit as well, I'd never taken on debt before. I got a credit card to try and finance and pay for all of the stock in advance because we didn't do too well at the end of last year. And because we didn't do too well, I almost didn't have enough money to pay for all of the stock for the festival over New Year's Eve. And taking out a loan and like, you know, having real life debt was scary as fuck. But I came out the other side and it worked out. So it's all
That
good
is
now.
awesome. So, talk about the experience at BTV. So, because like,
Don't skip through that, bro.
yeah, now I want to know.
I think I'm gonna be what's the word? Comparison, a thief of comparison. What's the
Oh,
word?
comparison's the thief of joy?
Yeah,
or-
that's it. Yeah.
A pessimist?
Yes, yeah. I'm
Okay,
gonna be a
cool.
pessimist. Whatever. Pretend I said that perfectly. Anyways, I'm gonna be a bit of a pessimist because I see how some of my other friends did at the festival, and they're doing 2-3 times what we were doing, and I'm not envious because I'm very, very happy for them. But it kind of just made me realize that there's so much more left on the table for me to get. So I think it went really well, but it's kind of made me almost hungrier for
good
maybe
though.
next year or maybe this year because I didn't really realize just how much money some of these other like brands and stuff are making. Not that I give a fuck about money in the slightest, but it helps to scale the business. So I think, yeah, BTV went well. I probably took on $10,000, $15,000 worth of debt to pay for the stall, the setup, the extra tickets, import duties, stock, all of those like stupid back end things that you always forget to account for. Even though I'm an accountant, I always forget to account for it. So I took on a lot of that stuff. And then I think in the end, we ended up making $18,000 over the 4 days, which is thank you.
done.
Yeah, thank you.
That's
That's
awesome.
Yeah,
amazing.
that is just like a flash in the sky though. Like that's not what we do every single month. We have months where we'll do literally $2,000. So it is a exaggeration of how well we normally do. So I tell people that number and I always say take it with a grain of salt. In an ideal world, I'll be able to, do that every month this year, but it's not an ideal world. Maybe it will be in a year, but we'll see. So I think taking on that much debt was really scary and I'm glad that I came out the other side. It was like we kind of barely just broke even, but yeah, I think
You say the risk was worth taking in that sense because it's like obviously yes, it's like sale wise, like you've just made it like just above even, but it was like the brand is like out there,
yeah.
which is like especially
Mhm.
with BTV, like a
Mm.
lot of people at BTV and like you talk about fashion influencers, but even just like influencers in general, and then you've also got like the general like I want to say core public of people there.
Mm.
So it's like that was also like that'll like how do I say it? How to say this the right way? It's gonna pay off in the future.
Yes. Yeah. I
With
think
hope.
hopefully it does pay off in the
Yeah.
future. But yeah, it was cool, like you said, just to be there. And again, I feel like I learned so much. Like what we were doing is not dissimilar at all by any means to any of the other brands who are doing 3x what we're doing. So kind of seeing them do that, I'm like, if I just change this or do this a little bit different, who knows, maybe I could 3x. And as much as it was good to break even and make a little bit of surplus, it was really good just to see what is potential, like what we could be capable of doing if I
100%.
was smarter.
So,
Yeah, well, I mean, thank you so much for sharing like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
figures and
yeah.
everything. Like
That's
we really appreciate it. And I think like there needs to be more of that as well. Like people being a bit more candid as to like what it actually takes to run a business. Like I've seen on Instagram reels like cafes breaking down, all their costs and
mm,
everything. And then they walk out with like barely anything as well. And you're like, wow, like these guys are working so hard hours on end and
mhm,
not walking out with much at all, but like they do it for the love of it as
mm,
well. And I think that's like a really refreshing thing that you're bringing to the table too. There's like obviously comparison's the thief of joy, and I think that plagued me for so much of maybe last year where I was just comparing myself to so many different people, and I think that's because you're exposed to greater people as well.
mm.
There's always going to be someone better than you. But then there's also a part of me that's like, there's the abundance mindset. It's like, well, if these guys are able to do all this, like, why can't I? And why can't we be able to like sort of take that piece of the pie too? I think like, yeah, again, when we talk about state of being, you're always like ping ponging between that when you're in business.
I also think though it's quite hard because I think everyone comes from a different starting background. And I think that's all about where you start. So like for context with control, we were like so lucky in the sense, well, let me rephrase. I was so lucky in the sense
Mm.
that Jane had almost all the equipment. So
Mm.
with a business like that, of like a social media agency or just like content supplementation, well, yes, you can film with your phone, and there's like, yes, you can definitely do it on iPhone content, which is obviously the easiest way to start, right? But then having camera equipment like that, which just meant that we had like literally no expenses going into the business, and it was just us getting the client, filming the content, and putting it out there. And like I guess, like you said, social media, if you are filming it yourself as a business, like being free, like it's a free source of marketing. Um, but we were able to do that. Whereas like, yeah, with retail, hospitality, like unless you have like a corporate job that you saved all this money for, or your family's supporting it, or you're just, there's some sort of like financial backing from that, like you have to put in at the very start and to continue it. And I forget how much harder and how much pressure that is because from us, it's like, okay, content is we can make that and get the service for that. And there's no other expense to it other than let's say if the equipment breaks. But because we've got the equipment already, we're basically not having to have any expense each month. So yeah, because I couldn't even imagine, but it's good. I guess another thing that I think about with that as well is that with businesses having to put in sort of capital to start with, they're taking that risk, which then pays off in a certain way. With like with your BTV experience, it sounds like you were able to like it was able to pay off. But you know, I think even with control, like I said to Joan, like if we want to grow, like we're gonna have to take more risks, and that's like maybe putting in actual capital now
Mhm.
to see where that grows, or if we doesn't, then we try something else, or but yeah, I think it's like, yeah, totally different ball game.
Yeah, I think the risk taking on that amount of debt was so scary, but I will say paying it off, probably the coolest feeling ever.
You just, what do you do?
Yeah.
Walk over to the bank and you're like, yeah, all good. Done
Nah,
with this
nah,
card.
nah.
I'll give this back to you.
No, I literally on my phone, just sitting in my bed one morning, I was like, oh, I should probably transfer the money now. Transfer from
Before I
one
spend it
account to
all.
the other account. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah.
Just zero balance.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, how good. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
What was it like getting a business loan? Was that a challenge? I haven't
No,
done-
it was
we
so
haven't done
easy.
one.
It literally took me like 2 minutes. I filled out some forms. I did it all on my phone. And then 2 days later, Combank is like, yep, here you go. That's $10,000. Just use it however you want to use it.
Seriously, that's
Yeah,
actually,
for real.
Well, I thought it was gonna be a
Yeah.
lot harder.
I know, me too.
The way, I feel like the way that loans are like set out, you're like, oh, I have to go through like this application process. I have to, prove the salary.
Yeah, because home loans are I mean, maybe that's a bit more, obviously a bit more
loans, I
higher of
guess.
risk, but still, I thought you'd be like a bit more.
Yeah. I just always think like at the end of the day, they want your money and they want your money bad and quick. So they're like, yeah, fuck it. You have $10,000. If you give us this amount of money, like it's no skin off their back. Still profit.
True, they'll just trade your money while you're paying it
Yeah.
off as well.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Yeah, maybe we should get a business.
Yeah.
That's it. Hey, what's next? I guess.
what's
Yeah, like
next?
Geez, I think there's so much in the work. I think I always like to take everything one day at a time. I'm not big on goal setting. Maybe I should be more, but that's just who I am, you know? I'm not big on it. So I think take every day one day at a time, live in the moment, dance, be free, enjoy it all. But I think this year going forward, a lot of the stuff that's been working for us, just double down on. Like the festivals, being in person, being out there. I think this year we'll try to do a lot of like
I want to say, were you gonna say market stands or like?
yeah. Market stands and kind of like one day events at like our niches, wherever they are, like the techno music events at Picker and the Wool Store and places like that. So I think that'll be definitely the goal for this year. And then I think hopefully later down the track, maybe, set our sights on something even more grandiose. We'll try to get to a Glastonbury or a Boomtown or a
That's it.
Creamfields, a international festival. And maybe, who knows, we'll then be like the festival brand, which I definitely can see a world where we are known as like the festival brand, but it's going to take a long time.
yeah, definitely. Well, sort of, where do you see like Joshua right now? Like, what is it considered? Like, would you say like the general perception is they're the bleached hat brand, or what? Like, because I guess do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, where do you want to be? Obviously, festival brand, but where do you feel like you are now?
I think, I still think we're probably labeled as the bleached hat brand, which I have no issues with. I love bleached hats. But for me, so much of it was I've just made so many of them. I got worn out of making them so much. But I took maybe 6 months off of making them. I tried some other stuff like these shorts I'm wearing, like pre-manufactured things. And from the back end, they weren't doing as well, but people still said they really liked them. So I think it's probably just going to take a bit more time for them to trust the product. So I think hopefully over time, we can do both because I love doing this and doing bleach hats is kind of just one item. I think I always want them to be the staple and the centerpiece of our brand. Like I want to be always known as like the black hat, bleached faces brand, ghost faces, whatever you want to call it. But then I also want to have creative freedom to do other cool stuff on the side. So I think, right now we're probably at that stage where we're still bleach hat, but I think maybe in future will be among other things. You never know what tomorrow will hold.
Well, that was a great way to end the podcast, I think. I really think so. I'm mic drop, no words to say.
Yeah, literally. Is there anything that you'd like to leave on? Maybe if you have any fleeting words of advice or anything that you want to sort of leave a mark on in terms of this podcast.
Sure.
Anything social media or business related.
Of course. First of all, thank you to you guys. And thank you to Isaac doing the audio as well. I really appreciate all you guys. And thanks everyone for supporting us. I really appreciate it. And I'll stare down the barrel of the camera. Keep going. You got this. Be bold. Don't listen to what other people think. Be confident. And don't hate. Be carefree.
I love that.
love that.
That was awesome.
Holy shit. We cannot thank you enough for your time, Tom. Like I think it's really refreshing. We haven't done like products, maybe the drink.
Drink was out.
Was that sort of thing. But I think like actually getting to know a bit more about like the clothing industry and sort of how you're trying to juggle two different gigs at the same time. Like it's been really refreshing to hear more about your story and what you get up to. And thank you for being so candid with the numbers and what has gone through that process as well. We couldn't thank you enough for your wisdom and your insight.
Thank you to you guys as well for talking about your business and everything. It's cool to hear about it because, you know, there's not many people like us doing the same thing. So it's always very refreshing conversation and interesting.
Yeah, that's it. Well, be sure to rate the show 5 stars, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next episode. See you.
Welcome, Cup.